The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live, the branded athlete, featuring in-depth interviews with and commentary on today's biggest and most successful athletes. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, the branded athlete.
There.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
The good one. Flex. We're flexing tonight on the branded athlete.
We flexing. We flexing.
You
I'm
tweeting?
retweeting the live link. Too. I'm trying to retweet the live link. I'm not gonna lie.
They're tweeting. We're all flexing. You guys are watching the branded athlete here on Black Hollywood Live, Thursday nights at 7. The only place to be to watch your favorite sports show in the entire world.
The whole world.
Are you guys still tweeting?
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. We want people to watch, so we're trying to get people.
All my friends and family.
Oh, no. Tell your cousins. Tell your best friends. Tell your mama.
There we go.
Tell Uncle Earl.
Tell your aunties.
Tell your Uncle Earl. Everybody got an Uncle Earl.
Yeah.
Everybody got an Uncle Earl.
Somewhere down the line.
Or Uncle Steve or Uncle Charles.
Uncle James.
Uncle James.
Uncle James.
I do got an Uncle James. You got Uncle James?
I do. Right here in LA.
Uncle James.
Yeah.
I'm Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, and Snapchat at Erica Renee D.
I'm yours truly, Mr. Dre Dean. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Andre the Giant, AUNDRETHAGIANT.
Yes, sir. And I am Joshua Johnson. Make sure you find me and follow me at JJ the Talented on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope. I am super excited about tonight.
I am too.
I'm super excited about tonight because.
But what? Hold
because
on. What?
The Clippers are
God.
playing the Golden State Warriors. And we know who Erica is going for tonight. Producer, flash the picture, please.
Okay.
Put the picture up there. We know who she's going for tonight. Golden State Warriors.
For all you guys out there, you know I am Clipper Nation all day long. Again, this man.
That's not what the picture says.
This man, two people to my left, stole my intellectual property off of Instagram and photoshopped a Warriors image onto my back.
That's yet to be proven.
That looks like a Warrior football uniform with the big old shoulders, with the big old shoulders and shoulder pads.
The over-the-shoulder look.
Blasphemy. That's blasphemy. Make sure you guys follow Black Hollywood Live at blackhollywoodlive.com and on Twitter at BHL Online. So last week we talked a lot. We ran out of time. So we have to finish our conversation that we ended with about domestic violence in sports. And we talked a little bit about Greg Hardy because Greg Hardy has been at the center of the most recent controversial domestic violence dispute. But today, Ray Rice, of all people, had some words. Did you see that? Ray Rice had some words of advice for Greg Hardy as he's going through his domestic violence thing, where he was basically like, dude, you need to understand that domestic violence is a real thing. You need to try to rehab and get therapy and become a better person from it. So, Josh, that was you. So
yeah, but is Ray Rice the person at this point? Yeah, is he the person to be given advice about domestic violence? Have we gone far enough away from his incident for him to turn around and say, okay, brother, let me tell you, what you should be doing and how you should be, acting at this point. Can he give advice?
Yeah, I mean, it's a support thing. You know what I mean? He went through a similar situation where he had to beat it, he had to get through it, he had to, it still took a real big knock on his image, etc. So the same thing is going to happen for Hardy. So I think it's more so just like a little boost, a little confidential boost, like, man, I know what you're going through, etc. This is what the deal is.
So you don't think that Ray Rice is doing this to try to gain, I guess, support?
No, I don't think.
Maybe gain a little, I think a little visibility because is he forgotten about?
I
mean, he's not playing.
He's not
Hardy
playing.
is.
Of course, he's not playing. But I think at this point he's used to not playing. I mean, it's more than halfway through the season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He ain't got a call yet, so that means he probably won't be getting a call.
Be playing,
right? So I think he's used to that by now.
But maybe this is his last ditch effort, Hail Mary, to say, okay, look, NFL, I'm still relevant, and not only am I relevant, I am speaking positive words into a negative situation. So look at me, I rehabbed, I'm a better person. Next year, someone sign me.
I mean, that could be the case, but honestly, I don't see him getting picked up next year. Why? What? Because now you go a whole year off from playing. You got to keep yourself in shape, which he may be doing because he's an athlete. He's had a long career in the league. But I mean, it's extremely difficult to be a professional, take a year off, and then come back and hop back into the thing like nothing ever happened.
So you're okay with him giving advice though?
I'm okay with him giving advice. He made a mistake. You live, you learn, and you move on, and you try to help somebody else that's going through that process, or try to eliminate or prevent somebody from going through the same thing the best way you can.
Eric, what do you think?
I'm okay with him giving advice, but I wonder what his agenda
what his intentions are.
Yeah. But I'm okay. I mean, if you've been there, like you said, Dre, you've been there, done that, you want to offer some words of encouragement to a peer, a colleague, I'm okay with that. I speculate why now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always going to be that.
Because we're still talking about Greg Hardy now, and he's the guy on the forefront of this, domestic violence in athletics right now. So, if it was somebody else, maybe he would. I see the relevance because it's football. Yeah, they're both football players. So, I could see why he would jump in.
I wonder, and you guys out there, maybe you can also attest to having the same sentiment, but having the pictures and the video makes it even more real. And the Greg Hardy situation had been resolved 8 months ago once the commissioner decided, okay, we're going to suspend you 10 games, and then it got reduced to 4 games. But then we saw the pictures that were released on Deadspin.com, and that brought everything back up to the forefront, making it seem worse than. Well, no, I can't say that. Let me choose my words carefully. Right. Making it seem as bad as we could have imagined. Yeah. So. Right. How do you guys feel about the pictures and the video evidence compared to not having the pictures and or the video evidence? Like,
It makes a difference.
It does.
It does make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because if you can't see it, if nobody witnessed it, if you can't say anything, it's really just speculation. Because who's to say who did what, why they did it, when they did it, who struck first, etc. Even though it's domestic violence in any way is not great, it's not good at all. But if you don't have the video, that evidence, that makes it just 10 times worse when you can see it happening.
And it doesn't have the same impact if you don't have it.
Absolutely.
Once you have it, it has greater impact because now you're seeing it. Your speculations are confirmed. You're like, wow, it was as bad as I thought, or wow, that was really terrible.
It was worse
what
than
happened?
I thought.
Right, or worse than I thought.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So having pictures and video definitely helps.
So should we rely on pictures and video to shape the narrative? Should we rely on these images to decide, oh, he needs to be suspended? Or should we just already have that feeling before seeing the videos and the pictures?
That's the interesting thing because breaking the law is breaking the law. Like you shouldn't have to have a video evidence to decipher how long or what or what not or and that's funny too. I'm kind of jumping the gun because I know we're gonna go into this later as well. Mm-hmm. But I really feel like it shouldn't matter. It's not the NFL, the NBA, the WNBA's responsibility to go the extra mile to discipline. It's not their responsibility. It's the law. It's the law. If you break the law, there's a crime. There's a price that you have to pay for doing that. And if you don't, then you don't. So I don't think that there needs to be anything out of the way or extra for these athletes. If you beat the case, if you beat it in reality and every day, just like the average Joe would beat it, then you deserve to play and do what you need to do.
Oh wow, okay.
And there's suspensions and there's things that go along with that, but I don't think there should be any excessive.
That's actually another part of our rundown. But to answer your question, I think we should rely on the testimony of the victim, the testimony of the suspected individual, and rely on what the courts say and what they decide. Because regardless if we have a picture or not, picture will enhance that case.
It will,
of course.
But I think your question was, should we rely on that?
Should we base our opinions, I guess, on having seen the pictures? Because before, we didn't see the Greg Hardy pictures until November the 6th when Deadspin released them. So we just were kind of okay, he had a 10-game suspension, now it was reduced to 4 games. Everyone kind of just glossed over that. But then the pictures came out and it was like, oh, Greg Hardy is the worst person in the world. That wasn't the reaction at first. So should we depend on those pictures and those videos to shape how we feel about domestic violence?
I think people are going to feel a certain way about domestic violence whether we see picture and video or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it definitely has I think it has
has
an
greater impact.
Right. When you put it out
does.
there and when you show somebody hitting somebody in the elevator and they can see it, when you show, then it, obviously it's more sentimental. It's more, we're people, you know, we're moved by feelings and what we see, and that makes it just 10 times more worse when you do that, which I don't think it should be, a lot of stuff I don't think should be released, to be honest.
On that point, though, we shouldn't. Now, I see what you mean, and I agree with you, but we shouldn't have to wait for a picture and video. We should, because domestic violence is an issue that really needs to be handled and taken care of, and we should all be against. So I feel like...
Okay, devil's advocate. Now, let's say...
From a female.
From a female,
Right.
you know, women out there, men out there. Hey, I'm just playing the devil's advocate. So let's say Dre and I get in a fight, you know, a lover's quarrel at home, whatever. We're not together, but just hypothetically. And let's say I hit him like this, and then he like hits me back like that. That's a lot different than someone throwing me against the sofa and then me having bruises on myself. So all I'm saying is that domestic violence is always wrong, but there are different levels of it, you know, per se.
Absolutely. Yes.
Different levels?
Different levels of
Yes,
it.
there's different levels of it.
Explain to me some levels, because what you just illustrated was not domestic violence.
Well, I mean, but
that was
someone like that was playful. But let's say we were like in the middle of a heated argument, and I push him, and I don't leave a bruise on him, and he pushes me back.
Well, that
That's
probably depends on
That's
what the
domestic
law
violence.
says. That depends on what the law says. I don't know per se what the law says exactly.
I'm gonna tell you what the definition for domestic violence
Break it
is.
down for us.
Behavior that involves abuse or violence by one person against another in a domestic setting or relationship.
So I push
Period.
Dre. I push Dre. So that's domestic
That's
violence.
domestic
Period.
violence.
That's it, and so it really shouldn't be black or white or it's either this or it's either that. It's either you did it or you didn't.
Okay.
No matter what the video is or what's not on the video, that it's the law. If you break the law, you should be punished accordingly.
Okay.
Period.
Now,
Just like if
yeah,
you kill
well-
one person and you kill 10 people.
Okay.
What's the difference? If you kill one person, do you think that you should go to prison longer than if you kill 10 people?
But if you kill 10 people, you probably
Well-
will get a stricter sentence.
I think so too. I think you
Yeah.
absolutely
You
should
probably
be.
could, you know,
Just like if I
one
if
person
I
might have been an
push you-
accident.
If I push you like
Yeah.
that, and we're talking versus if I put my hands on you and punch you in the face. I believe that there's levels. It's levels to this stuff.
Levels to this. Okay.
So there should be a greater punishment based on how the domestic violence
injury?
was.
Based on whether it's a black eye or whether it's a bruise?
Yes, I think so.
What do you guys out there
Really?
think? I mean, this is an interesting
We get to our
conversation.
legal
I
experts.
mean,
We want to know. Tweet us.
Especially if you know the law, maybe you're a legal expert, law student,
Yeah.
lawyer. Tweet us. Let us know what you think about this, because
And I don't want to act like we're not sensitive to it. I mean, I know Michelle Beadle on ESPN has been very vocal about Greg Hardy and other athletes who've gotten in trouble for domestic disputes because I think that she herself may have been a victim of domestic violence in the past. Either she was or someone in her life was, because she talks about it very passionately. So we're not trying to be, desensitized to it.
Right.
We really do want to know what you guys think, and we really want to open the forum of conversation about, are there levels to it? Like, should there be different suspensions in the NBA, NFL based on video evidence, based on picture evidence, based on how bad the bruise is, based,
But
well, now
everything
you
is-
opened up something else, because what you were talking about earlier, which we do have as a subtopic to this, is let's say Joe Blow, who works at XYZ software company, commits domestic violence at home,
Yeah.
and he gets punished for it. Is it up
by
to,
the law or by the company?
By the law.
By the law.
Is it up to his company to then take away his job, or is it up to his company to then inflict punishment?
Absolutely not.
Because I'm making a parallel now to the same situation in the NFL. These are jobs that people do have, whether in NFL or whatever sport. But these are jobs people have. Is it up to the sports league then to enact a punishment on top of what
the law
the law has done?
That's
And
why
we know that
that's why
Andre
I
said no.
said there shouldn't be any excessive punishment towards these athletes when this kind of stuff happens.
I get
Now,
that.
if there's a contract and there's rules that's set in place
In the
that if you
contract.
do certain things, you're gonna get punished this. And that's the whole thing with the with Tom Brady getting off. I mean, you can't punish somebody excessively or make up something just because something happens that you didn't expect. If it's
Right.
in the contract, then that's what you got to go by and
Okay.
live and die by. If it's not, then it's a different story.
Okay.
And if it's okay with the police, if you didn't get in trouble with the law for breaking the law, then you shouldn't get in trouble at your job, at your workplace.
That's I have the same
disagree.
feeling.
I can't disagree with that.
I tend to have the same feeling. Although I was thinking about this and trying to rationalize it. I was thinking, well, is it because they are in
the public
eye, and the public perception is going to have a big influence and a big influence on the league and the league's reputation
and their branding
and the league's branding and the league's
and the
dollars.
sponsorship. Yep. So 7-Eleven or Kangaroo or whatever, the local gas station, the Joe Schmo who unfortunately engages in domestic violence at home, who works there, doesn't have as much of an impact on that setting, that workplace setting. So, but Dre, I think I agree with you though. I think I agree with you about the leagues not going.
Stated in the contract for domestic violence, if you are accused of domestic violence or if you are convicted of domestic violence, this is what the punishment should be. If it's mapped out in the contract, then that's what the punishment should be.
What if it's not in the contract?
If it's not in the contract, then you can't punish somebody for something.
So
you gotta go by the law. Whatever the law says, whatever the law does, then that's their punishment.
Okay. So what if there are pictures and there's evidence, but the victim in the case decides not to continue with the prosecuting of the.
Well, then that will go back to what Dre says. Like, if the victim decides,
and they decide to maybe settle or just not to pursue with the criminal case.
Yeah.
And so essentially, the person gets off because the victim did not, pursue the criminal case.
So according to what Dre
they
said,
get no punishment
then
at all.
If there's no legal action
then they
taken,
get off. Yeah. Why wouldn't they get off?
I see what you're saying.
That makes totally 100% sense.
Although
to
there
me
was picture evidence
personally.
and video.
But it's not saying that you didn't. If you see the evidence and you know it happened and you've seen it happen, but the victim decides not to press charges, the same thing that happens in the real world.
Yeah.
Same thing that if you're in
That's
court
true.
and you go to trial for court
That's
and
true.
the witness doesn't show up, then typically
true.
they get
Yeah.
off.
And they get off.
Yeah,
They get
that's
off.
true.
No.
Okay,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's
Okay.
like, it is what it is.
Guys, we're gonna move on really quickly. Any final thoughts on
No.
that?
Are we done with it
Oh,
completely?
I
Are
know,
we done?
because we can talk about that all day.
Oh,
I mean, are we
I guess
done with
we
the topic
shouldn't-
or just that sub point?
I guess we shouldn't flood them with that.
I mean,
Because it's not
we-
a happy topic.
we ended last episode with it, and I'm just trying to keep it moving.
Okay. Well, I mean, we want to touch on the fact that
I want to touch real quick. I want to touch on
anything
the females.
I was going to say,
Okay,
we want to
the
touch on the
females.
females
Okay.
because
I want to know your take on that.
Okay.
what do you
Wouldn't
think
you?
about?
Ask me. What do you want to ask me?
Okay, like Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
Okay, she
Hope Solo.
And Hope
Solo.
Solo. Yeah.
These are individuals who
Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner. Yeah.
She did get a suspension.
She did 7 games
she did.
suspended. She was suspended for 7
her
games.
and her
wife,
fiance at the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, but Hope Solo, did she?
Was it her nephew or her niece?
I think Hope Solo got off.
She still
Hope
played
Solo
in the-
got- it
in
was
the-
it was her nephew.
Her nephew,
World
yeah.
Cup and her
Yep,
sister-in-law, I think.
I mean,
Ronda Rousey, no kind of punishment, and she
Yeah.
admitted in a book written down. In a book that said that she had, beat up her boyfriend.
Yeah.
But she didn't even get any sponsors dropping her, any kind of backlash from the public.
But he didn't press charges. If you go back and read
Yeah.
it and see, he didn't press charges. He didn't speak out on it until after the fact. It was all over. If it was that bad, bruh, why wouldn't you say something when it started?
Right, but my point is, do we look at that differently
we do
because
look at
it's
it
a
differently.
female?
We yes, we do.
I think we do.
I think we do because just
As
as
society.
just as men can get away with certain things, like for example, men can get away with being promiscuous in society without being judged. Women can get away with having being engaged in domestic disputes with one another and not have to suffer the same consequences that a man would if a man enacted or hit a woman. And unfortunately, that's a very bad double standard because in a perfect world, we will all be judged by the same exact
Same
standards,
standard.
but we're not. So yes, there is a double standard. And do I think it's fair? No. But am I okay with it? Yes.
You okay with it?
I'm okay with it.
Why are you okay with it?
I mean, because to me, it comes back down to men just being stronger. Men are just more physically.
So men are stronger?
Yes. I mean, just
Yeah, duh.
I mean,
I'm just asking.
Yeah, listen.
I know the truth. I'm just saying. I want to get your take on it.
Listen,
Like,
yes, men are stronger. Like by nature, you guys are stronger, more dominant. You're the leaders. You're athletic. I mean,
so because of that, it's okay for.
Yes.
It's okay for Susie Q
Yes.
to choke her husband.
No, it's not okay. But if I choke a man, who
and forced to look at it differently.
if I choke a man, I can't do the same kind of damage to a man that if
That's
you
true.
choke me, that you can do to me. I can't kill you.
No, there are certain situations where, for instance, Ronda Rousey. I mean, she could probably beat up
Well, I don't
some
know.
guy.
I don't know if she could.
Was
Did you
a
see her last
lame.
week?
Her boyfriend was a lame, and he never went to the cops, so you can't charge her. Nobody. Do we have video of Hope Solo beating up this 6'8" boy?
And if we had video, would we care? We probably would laugh. This makes me think about the
don't know.
girls in Michigan or wherever that was, the call girls who like went to the 7-Eleven, twerked on this man. Did you guys see that video? Like about
Not really. I heard about it.
They were
but-
arrested for twerking,
no.
and so there was this conversation about should these women be charged with sexual assault? And like the comment sections again, here I go with my comment sections, but the comment sections were really funny. They were like, "No, he just got twerked on. Take it like a man."
So
Wait, what was
you're
the
like, you're
situation?
laughing.
I gotta go back and watch that.
So
'cause what-
it was basically these two women who looked like strippers or call girls went into a gas station and started twerking on a random man who was in line.
Oh, so random guy. They
Did he
didn't know
like
him.
it? Did he groove with it?
I would have started dancing along. I mean,
groove?
like-
Exactly. But if a man came up to me in a gas station
What
line
would you
and
do?
put
And I
his
just started
penis on
grinding on
me,
you. You would be mad.
wait, did he take it out or was it still in his
Or did
pants?
it just? I did it.
Because they didn't take anything out. It was still in there.
but they put their butts on his crotch.
Okay.
Would
so
you call the police?
I mean, if a man
As a
came and did
female?
that to you, the
It
same
depends
exact
on who it
thing.
was.
Would you?
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Look
Talk
at
about
that.
double
Depends on
standards.
who it was.
It depends on who. If it was a handsome fella.
And it was like,
If it was a handsome fella.
I'm like, okay, you take 10 seconds and back off. But if it's like some, suspect looking character off the street, like a transient, then no, I'll be upset. Double standards. I'm just being honest.
The double standards are all around in this
Wow.
world. They ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. We might as
They
well
are
learn to
not.
live with them. They ain't going nowhere. Double standards all around the world. I guess we can move on.
Okay.
This
And
getting.
BTW.
What would you do, man? I think I would start dancing along. Like,
Oh, man, hey,
that's
you know.
just me, my personality. I would have fun with it.
I think it depends on the figure.
But it does depend. Yeah, there are some
Something in
dependencies.
his liquor.
For the most part, I would dance along.
We're missing one of our hosts today, Raina Ale. Forgot to mention her today. DraftKings.com, fantasy football. If you haven't started playing fantasy football, this is the time you need to do it right now. We're kind of almost pretty much finished with the NFL season, but if you
Almost.
Coming to the home stretch.
Coming to the home stretch, but if you do not like the 16-week long commitment of fantasy football, then DraftKings is for you, because with fantasy DraftKings, you can change your players each week. You can pick your players, I can't talk today. Pile up your points.
Pile up them points.
Pile up your points. And possibly become the weekly $1 million winner. And the great thing about DraftKings.com is that every week there's a $1 million winner, and at the end of the year there's a $2 million winner.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of
It's a lot
money.
of cash.
It's a lot of cash. A lot of cash. So, fantasy, this is fantasy, but not fantasy as usual. And when you go to DraftKings.com, make sure you use the promo code BLACK so they know that we sent you.
Black.
Win lots of money. Okay, is it me next or is it Dre?
I think
It's-
it's you
Is
with
it
your
me?
bowing out gracefully.
Oh yeah. Good time.
Okay,
Bowing.
okay.
I love it.
Okay,
Let's
so
get it.
my question is, when should a superstar athlete call it quits? And I like to say, do you play till the wheels fall off, or do you just have to know when to fold them? Peyton Manning, speaking of fantasy football, is my fantasy football quarterback. Don't ask me why I haven't dropped him yet. But
You will.
it's over now. But he is the most recent case in the NFL, at least, of a legend going down not so gracefully. For the first time in his career, not due to injury, he was benched. And
Right.
he was benched in favor of Osweiler, who was drafted in 2012, has never started an NFL game in his entire life, but yet Peyton's going to be riding the bench this week. And then you have the Kobe Bryant aspect. Kobe has...
Why you gotta say it, Kobe Bryant?
Kobe Bryant.
Why you gotta say it like that?
Well, I'm just saying, because again, Kobe is a living legend, but he said last week that he can't even walk to his car, essentially. He's so tired after playing so many minutes. But then you have Big Papi from the Red Sox, who has said at the end of the 2016
David
season...
Ortiz.
Yes, David Ortiz, yes. Who said, I'm going to retire at the end of 2016. And he's still relatively on the top of his game. Now, if you want to compare baseball to basketball, it's a little bit different, because we all know baseball players aren't nearly as athletic as
a little
basketball
less
players.
mileage on the legs,
Less
yeah.
mileage on the legs, but still, he's not going out of the game looking like a schmuck. So my question to you is, do you want your favorite athletes to play until the wheels fall off, or do you want them to go out at the tops of their games?
Can I go on this one?
Get it, because I got some.
Like the Kobe lover. Go ahead.
I feel like this.
What?
As long as look, for instance, Peyton Manning, Kobe Bryant, two people, and David Ortiz. In your example, these are people who have contributed a lot to the game. These are superstars, future Hall of Famers. I feel like as long as the organization and the team management and the coach is willing to pay them the money, is willing to put them out there on the field, then hey, what can you do? That's up to them when they want to go.
What do you want to see as a fan?
It's up to them when they want to leave the game because hey, for one, it's not all about the performance anymore because it's about the money as well. And they know these people are still draws. They're going to draw fans. Okay. They're going to draw dollars. They're going to draw eyeballs. They're going to draw sponsors. So these people know if they give Kobe $24 million that they're going to get a return on their investment because he's Kobe. He's still bringing people and filling the seats.
Oh gosh!
And as long as people like Kobe, Peyton Manning, they've contributed so much to the game. Why can't they go out on their terms? If they're still being hired now, if they're going around bumming around looking for a job and no one's going to hire them, then it's like get out the way, make room for the younger people. But I mean, as long as they're willing to play them, to pay them,
to play, okay,
then what are you gonna do?
You don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem.
As a Kobe fan, you don't have a problem with watching the man that you grew up loving and admiring.
As long as I can, I want to see him play. As long as I can see him play.
But he's not even playing though. I'm sorry.
I still want to see him out there. I still want Kobe to be on that roster.
Well, he's on the roster.
I'm a fan. But now, also as a fan though, there should be some adjustments made. I can't say that.
You can say whatever you want to say.
I can say there should from a fan standpoint. Now we don't always want to see Kobe out there taking these shots that he used to take if it's jeopardizing the team. But I mean, there should be some adjustments made. Okay. And you see in the case of Kobe getting set down. You see in the case of Peyton Manning getting set down.
Sit down.
Adjustments are being made.
Have
but
a seat.
From their perspective, though, if they're still getting paid and they're still getting hired, then they're gonna still play.
Dre, what do you think?
I'll tell you what I think. I think Peyton Manning is 7-2 starting quarterback this year. They are 7-2, the Broncos. He's thrown 9 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. Sit down.
Have a seat.
Sit down. Let what's his name? Osweiler. Let that man get his opportunity to go out there and do something. And it's not about. I don't really think this is about. We need to sit down Peyton Manning because he's old. I think it's more of a health issue for him. Mm-hmm. Like his shoulder, he's older. He's not performing the way he. Not that he wants to be great. You don't think that Peyton Manning wants to be great, but physically, I think that his arm is tired. I think he's getting older. I think he's getting tired. You need to sit down. You need to stop playing. That's my take on it. I think you give everything that you have until you can't anymore. And when you can't anymore, you have to be smart enough, man enough, or one-man enough to just say, hey, I tap out. But it's hard. When they steady throwing millions and millions and trillions of dollars at you, who wants to give that up and walk away from it?
Why would you?
So do you think, Dre and Josh, do you think that Kobe and Peyton should make this their last year?
Absolutely. I think Peyton Manning this should be his last year for sure. I think Kobe Bryant, I said that when we started the show, I thought that he shouldn't have came back and leave with some, me personally, I would like to go out with a bang.
Thank you.
I would like to go out. Right. That's me personally. That's me personally.
They want to stay and play and get paid.
Big Papi Ortiz, he wants to go out.
If you
were
in Kobe's position,
exactly.
would you be like, keep that 25. I'm cool.
I mean, of course. I mean,
heck no.
All right.
The nature of our society is to keep making as much money as you can for as long as you can. So, I'm not particularly judging them for playing as long as they're going to get paid, per Josh's comment. But I am saying, like, Kobe is such a competitor. Peyton Manning is such a competitor. They are like the legends in their sports and have been for so long. We're going to remember Kobe and Peyton as literally having a rib injury, a foot injury, an ankle injury, a heel.
How do you remember MJ?
Well, see,
MJ.
Okay, but hold on.
MJ.
But hold on.
That's
you don't think of him as the MJ who played for the Wizards.
But that's different though, because I think
how's it different?
Because when he came to the Wizards, that wasn't like he retired from the Bulls and he was hurt and mangled. He went out on top. The Wizards thing was kind of like, oh, this is extracurricular. Watch what I can do, and I'm old.
He played past his time, like you're saying that Kobe and Peyton are doing,
but
right?
He wasn't falling apart like Kobe.
How do you know?
Because we would have known.
I don't know. Maybe he's just hiding it.
We never know
Maybe
what
he
these
is.
players are feeling internally until they come out and say it. Like when Kobe Bryant said, it's hard to walk. When you say that, I think as a person, I think he's shaping himself and grooming himself to leave the game. He's letting people know. He's like, look, man,
he's
it's hard
dropping
to
hints.
walk. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he's
Like the
dropping
money
hints
is
for sure.
good. I love the money, but at the end of the day, I am, however old he is, how old is Kobe?
37.
37.
Yeah.
You are a 37-year-old man. You still have a ton of your life to live. That it's not even you got a long ways to go, brother.
And the contract's up after this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it would be a big blow to Kobe if what's the next contract he's gonna get? It's probably gonna be a lot less,
Like,
and they'd be like, it'd be a blow like that.
4.2.
That's how much you're gonna give me?
4.2.
Like that's it.
But the
So I think
Lakers
you get out while you
organization,
can.
they're so on Kobe's jock that they probably would find a way to give
They
him.
are, but I think
No.
at this point
No.
they know they're business people too. So they're gonna be like, okay, now we gave you your 2-year deal with a lot of money. So now we're gonna be like, okay, Kobe, we're gonna give you the statue out in front. We're gonna retire your jersey
as it should be.
But when you think of MJ, and like I'm saying, you're gonna remember Kobe. You're not gonna be like, oh, Kobe left too late. You're gonna be like, Kobe was a great player.
I don't know though. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Because when I think about Shaq, now I love Shaq. I love him. He's a great television personality, one of the best center of all time. But I think about how he jumped around from the Lakers to from the Lakers to the Heat to the Suns to the Celtics to the Cavaliers, and that's what I think about when I think about Shaq, as well as his greatness. Of course, you cannot take away Shaq's greatness.
But what shines brighter, the jumping or the greatness?
I mean, of course, the greatness shines brighter, but it's very hard.
Why do you think he? No, finish your thought first.
I don't know what I was gonna say because I was rudely interrupted.
Oh, you were.
You ain't gonna say nothing.
No.
You ain't gonna say nothing.
I apologize.
No, I mean, I definitely think of the greatness more. And why do I think he jumped around from team to team to team? He was still trying to make that money. He was still trying to get those last little bits of whatever his old self that he could muster up to play. Does it make it right? You do what you want to do, for the welfare of your family, to pay your bills, to keep your mortgage, whatever. I'm not judging people for that, but I'm just saying, as a fan of the sport, I want to see my hero go out on top and ride off into the sunset in the most idealistic way possible.
Right. Yeah.
We all want to
as
see
fans. I mean, we don't. I mean, we do have power, and we don't have power over that. I mean, we could not go to the game.
It's like seeing your parents cry when you're little. You have this idea that your parents are perfect and like they're superheroes, and then like you see them when they're vulnerable, and it's like, oh, my daddy cried, my mom cried. It's like you don't want to see like your parents, like you don't want to see their weaknesses. You don't want to see your heroes' weaknesses. Weaknesses.
Weaknesses.
I say like I said a minute ago. Like I just think that when it comes down to it, over the whole legacy of their game, you're still gonna remember how great these players
I
were.
am. You're right, Dre. You were gonna say something.
I mean, I'm just gonna say, like I said, Peyton Manning. That he's not having a great season, but he's found a way to win 7 games,
that
and they're
defense.
7-2. And you can say it's the defense all day, and it probably is the defense, but it's a team collectively. It's the offense and the defense and the special teams all coming together to make it happen. The only thing you can do is give everything that you got until you so choose to not give any more.
Thank you.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's all about the money. We all want money.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we all want to live. We all want to walk. And I know I guarantee you, Kobe will not be back next year. I guarantee you, he's shaping it. He's letting people know. He's like, look, man, I can't walk.
He's got a lot of mileage.
Right. It's about time for me to hang it up. And now it's time for him to groom some of these young players.
Yeah.
I think that should be his role now.
I think so
more
too.
than anything, because save your body, play when you can, give him some minutes, let him do what he can do, but let him be around to groom these young cats that's coming up and teach them the game, teach them what he knows, because they all looked up to him, grew up, seen him play, and probably honored to be on the bench or on the sideline with him.
D'Angelo
Anyway.
on the bench.
He can learn a thing or two.
Dre. Quick takes.
Man, we got some quick takes right now, and I'm gonna let y'all answer first.
Okay.
On these bad boys.
All right.
And then I give y'all my perspective on them. All right. So my first thing is Cam Newton dabbing on him. Dabbing on him. Was this disrespectful or was this dope?
Dope. It was dope. The lady who wrote the open letter to the Charlotte Observer is just completely delusional. You have too much time on your hands, lady. There have been way more vulgar things that your 9-year-old daughter has seen in her entire life besides Cam Newton in the end zone dabbing. And to the Titans football players and Titans fans who were offended, like Cam said, you don't want to see me dance, don't let me get in the end zone. Dab.
Damn, boom. Okay, but okay.
Yeah. I think it's dope. I mean,
just
football, sports, it's entertainment. I mean, that's part of the reason why you watch the game. It's fun. Like, why would you just go in there and, I mean, it's not as fun to watch if you just hand the football off to the ref, you know, like a Barry Sanders or something like that, or Daniel Tomlinson, but you want to see guys entertain.
Yeah.
And that's what Cam does. He's been doing that for a long time. Like, come on, really? That's Cam Newton.
Yeah.
that is some disrespectful stuff right there, man. Let me tell you why it's disrespectful. Not because he's celebrating, not because everybody celebrates. We know particular players because of their celebration dances. And that's cool. That's the game. That's part of it. But you have to know your position as a player. If you're a quarterback, you can't do the same thing that an offensive lineman or that another player on the team may be doing, because you are held to higher standards. Well, you set the tone for your team. You set the tone, and if you do it, and everybody else on the team is gonna think it's okay to do it. And you got a lot of little kids watching these guys.
Oh, well.
Little kids watching these guys, playing pee-wee football, watching these guys, and I think as a quarterback, you have to be more controlled and more conservative and show more leadership and just do it. Act like you've been there before. My coach used to tell me that all the time when I played football. I scored a lot of touchdowns in high school.
Can we counterpoint?
You have to act like you've been there before every time you score. What's up?
Can we counterpoint?
Real fast though.
Yo, go.
No, cause I was gonna say, because I mean, historically, I guess we see that maybe the quarterback is held to a higher standard. He's the team captain or whatever. But still, it depends on the culture of the team, I think, too.
That's true. Okay.
The team culture. Maybe the rest of the team is into that and does
That's
that.
true.
I mean, they just have fun as a team. I mean, right now they're 9-0, so keep dabbing.
Dab.
I think it's okay, but I think you have to be you gotta watch it. You gotta be careful. You gotta be particular with who does it and what it is. But you can't punish anybody differently.
No.
You can't penalize anybody, any one man, a quarterback versus
No.
a receiver. Everybody should be treated equally and the same. But as a player, you gotta know who you are and what image you're trying to hold. Maybe Cam Newton doesn't care. Like you said, maybe that's their philosophy. They like, look, we're gonna
Have
turn
fun
up
with it.
and we're gonna have fun, and maybe that's why they're
helping them win.
undefeated.
But watch out, as a quarterback though, you step out the pocket, you might get hit.
And that's
hard.
where I was
be
going
careful.
to, because now you're making yourself a target when you
making yourself
do
an
those
enemy. You
things.
are, yeah.
So now when these other players see you doing that kind of stuff, they might want to do something.
Yeah,
They might want
that's
to hit
true.
you. They might want to, and that's when you got to look out for your team, because if you're not out there, now you got to get a second string quarterback and you're undefeated, and now you got to work that out. You feel me? All right.
Okay.
Well, look.
What's the next
I
one?
got more. So the Rockets. I'm from Houston.
Oh, that's
Houston,
right, that's
Texas.
right.
H-Town.
Texas is what's going on with Texas
H-Town.
lately?
Man, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Them
Just-
Cowboys, Texas Longhorns. Like, what's going on with Texas?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm from. I think what's crazy
What?
is ever since the University of Texas has been doing bad, the Texans, the Cowboys, it's just been they've been
The dark
wavering.
cloud over
But your
Texas.
basketball's been doing well.
The
though.
basketball. I wouldn't say the basketball's been doing well. That's why the coach is getting fired.
Okay.
If they were doing well, then he would still be
Well,
the
okay,
coach,
let's-
and there would not be any shape, form, or fashion of him leaving. They're 4-7 right now. You have James Harden. You have Dwight Howard. Okay, Rockets firing Kevin McHale. Fail. No, I'm gonna say fair or foul.
I
Fair or
say
foul?
very foul, because this is the team
Very
that,
foul.
granted, you somehow by some stroke of divine intervention beat the Clippers last year to make it to the Western Conference
I meant
Finals.
to get that picture.
To the Western Conference Finals. I mean, you went to the Western Conference Finals. I don't care how you got there, whether it was luck or divine intervention or whatever. You made it to the Western Conference Finals. We're in the same calendar year where you were just almost vying for an NBA championship. Granted, no one was going to beat the Warriors, but whatever. You had the hope of vying for an NBA championship. Kevin McHale is one of the greatest ever. He has respect across all cultural boundaries. You gonna fire this man? Like, you can't do that. Who else? I hate when people say this. Who else is out there? You can always find someone else. But Kevin McHale, I honestly think there was some kind of internal conflict, personality conflict. It's not about coaching.
With him and the team, or
With him and the team.
Okay, yeah. For me, I agree with Erica. Foul.
Foul,
Because,
yeah.
and I hate the fact that
Excuse me.
Teams are so quick to fire coaches, but coaches aren't the ones playing the game.
Dwight Howard
That's
being
true.
mediocre.
It's the players who are going out there losing games. So I mean, I say foul. I don't think it's a good move.
You think it's foul? Well, I think it's fair.
Oh gosh.
I
is
think
trying to
it's
be
fair, man. They
opposite.
4-7 right now.
5-7 now.
It's
5-7
that's
now.
him?
5-7.
They won last night.
5-7
That's
right
on him?
now. They starting. They got a losing record. You got one of the, maybe not the best center by far, But you have a really good center. You got one of the best guards in James Harden in the game. It's no reason why they shouldn't be in playoffs, making a move, making a splash every single season right now. Okay. When you got a good center, a solid center, and you got a solid guard, and you got some decent puzzles and pieces around it, you should be winning games, brother. I don't care what your name is. You need to be winning games. Bottom line.
Okay. Yeah, but it's still early in the season.
It is still early in the season. But I will tell you this. I do agree with you, ma'am. I think that there was some kind of internal conflict that or it wasn't a good fit, or there was somebody that didn't click, or something that didn't gel. And if you don't have that camaraderie from the top all the way down, it's always going to be problems and miscommunication issues, and people aren't going to get along and get together, and that's when things get ugly. So I think they made a good move, and I think they're trying to prevent it from getting really ugly. Okay, DeMarcus Cousins, one game suspension for hitting Horford.
Man, get rid of this stuff.
I mean, seriously, I'm sorry.
Right. Is he learning his lesson, or is he still a loser?
He's still a loser. Like, DeMarcus Cousins has been a cancer. Consistently, I feel like he gets every coach that he's under fired. I mean, George Karl is still there, but I feel like George Karl is on his last leg too, and I love George Karl. I mean, I know I don't have any say so whether or not he keeps his job, but DeMarcus Cousins is a consistent cancer. He's not learning his lesson. He's always way too aggressive, to a fault, to a flaw on the court. Dude, I'm over you. You're a loser.
Loser. You can't build a team around this guy.
You can't.
He's not a leader. He's not a leader, and I think he's, like you said, he's a captain to the team. He's bringing the team down. He is definitely a distraction in the locker room. When are they going to get rid of this guy? I mean, granted, he's got skill, but I don't like this guy at all.
He's still talented, and it's all about the money and the seats.
When are they going to, understand his attitude? Because attitude plays a big role in the locker room and with the culture of the team and the chemistry of the team. So get rid of this guy.
I think you a grown man. You need to control your emotions. You need to control yourself. But at the same time, is he in jail? Did he commit a crime? Is he behind bars?
Here we go.
Did he do anything like that? Nope. His punishment fits the crime.
Okay.
He's learning his lesson. Hopefully he's learning his lesson. And we got to, since we're talking about Texas, we got to talk about Charlie Strong real quick.
Yeah.
What do y'all think, Charlie Strong? Is it time for him to move on, or should he have some more time? What do you think?
I think it's time for him to move on, just because a lot of the boosters, I can't say all of them, but a lot of the boosters didn't want Charlie Strong as the head coach hire anyway. So I think he's feeling the pressure of not only losing, but also the pressure of not having the full support of the people who should be supporting you. Is Miami a good fit? The university, the U, is that a good fit for him? I'm not saying that anyone wants to go to South Beach right now and be their head coach, because that program is kind of in shambles as well. But I think it would be a lot less pressure to be on the beach in that weather, in that environment, versus being in Texas, where they literally are ready to lynch you if you're not winning football games.
I look at the third topic in a row. I'm agreeing with Erica on.
Yes.
I feel the same way. Go ahead and move on, man, because if they don't want you, then leave.
I say give him one more year.
Oh my God!
Why y'all charging me up? I say give my man Charlie Strong one more year, because the Big 12 is a great conference. It's super competitive right now. It's all kind of crazy stuff going on. They beat Oklahoma, one of the top teams. I mean, there's signs of greatness, but it just hasn't been consistent. And I think he has a good mindset. Like the whole thing where he wasn't allowing his players to wear the wristband. I think he has a good mindset. It's just the player has to buy into it. You give him one more year to see if these players are going to buy into it. And then if they're not, then it's not a good fit. That just means it's not a good fit for him, and he needs to go somewhere else. But you got to get that man one more year.
I'm going to say, if they give him one more year and it's a losing season, whose fault is it?
It's everybody's fault.
If they give it one, it's collectively. I say he's got to go. It's always a coach. I blame the coach always.
Yeah.
Personally, I blame the coach always, because that program was successful. It's been successful. Mac Brown was doing it. They always get the talent. It's not like they're not getting the talent. They're getting 5 4-star recruits.
They are.
Now you do have some other teams now like TCU and Baylor who's getting and stealing and putting away from those recruits. Yeah. But it's still the University of Texas, and every kid wants to play at Texas if you're from Texas. Bottom line. Okay, we're going to wrap it up almost. Now, Olivia Munn and Aaron Rodgers. Is their relationship distracting Aaron Rodgers, do y'all think?
Apparently, that's what a lot of sports writers think. They're saying that Aaron Rodgers is so smitten by Olivia Munn's beauty and talent and brains that he's unable to complete a successful game or successful pass these days, it looks like. I think relationships for NFL players, NBA players can be distractions. The Chloe, the James Harden, although that's a different kind of monster because she was dealing with Lamar Odom's near-death experience. But I think that relationships sometimes can be a factor. Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo. Jessica Simpson was considered the bad luck in Texas, the bad luck charm in Texas for a while. I mean, I'm not saying it's the only distraction, but I do think it can be a distraction.
These guys have been dealing with distractions ever since they were middle school. I mean, if you are a professional athlete, you showed some talent way back when, and you always had some people around you who might have been distracted, some girls looking at you, passing you notes way back when. And when you get to high school and college, there's girls, girlfriends, and all that kind of thing. They've been dealing with pressure at big name universities at that point. They've been dealing with huge crowds and people wanting a piece of them, and now they're in the NFL, NBA, what have you. They know how to deal with distractions. So I don't think it's a distraction for him. I mean, it's just, I don't want to say just another girl, but it is just another relationship that, I mean, they know how to balance that along with playing. When they're on that field, they play ball.
I'm going to wrap it up. I think that relationships and women is the greatest distraction for a man always. If you can't, a woman will pull you here and pull you there and pull you that way and get in your mind and make you do things that you wouldn't normally do. So I think if you can't control it and you can't handle it, you need to be single and focus on your career or your sport or whatever it is that you're doing, unless you find somebody who's going to motivate you and take you to where you need to go. And you can work together collectively to get there.
In a perfect world, Dre.
In a perfect world. But that is so rare these days.
Now, next week, we're going to talk a little bit about how arrogance can play into the downfall of a champion, i.e. Ronda Rousey. Because, of course, as always, we are out of time. Out of time. Talk so much.
We talk a lot.
We go in.
We do. We have fun with it.
So, guys, thank you so much for watching The Branded Athlete on Black Hollywood Live. I'm Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Twitter, Snapchat, Periscope, and Instagram at Erica Renee D.
I'm Dre Dean. You can find me on Snapchat at RBDean30. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Andre the Giant, AUNDRETHAGIANT.
I'm Joshua Johnson. Find me and follow me on Instagram, Periscope, and Twitter at JJ the Talented.
And as always, make sure you keep checking back to BlackHollywoodLive.com for updates throughout the week, and follow us on Twitter at BHL Online, because next week is Thanksgiving. We're not going to have a show on Thanksgiving Day. We're shooting this Sunday, which is the 22nd. Wait, 22nd, I believe. 22nd.
Yep, 22nd.
So
and we're going to be live that day.
And we're going to
too.
be live at 7 p.m. So you're going to get a double dose in only a few days span of your favorite host, your favorite sports host. And Raina will be back. So
we miss you, Raina.
Yes.
Till next time. See ya.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.